Hey everybody, welcome to the grand finals of the Dota 2 Canada Weekly Cup. I am Wolf Dota. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks to our sponsor Xfire for supporting the tournament, providing the prize pool as well as the tournament site. If you guys are interested in playing in the tournament, you can check out links below the channel to go to dota2.ca as well as xfire.com, and you can find more information there. We've got Lecresha Cybersports going up against Brue in the grand final match of Week 5. So, quick run through the picks and bans. We've got Jakiro, Wisp, and Void banned out by Lecresha, as well as Tidehunter, Drow Ranger, and Lycan for Brue. Brewmaster was picked up, as well as Vengeful Spirit for Lecresha. Invoker and Skywrath picked up by Brue. So, I'm sure we'll have an interesting game coming out here. Both these teams have had a pretty impressive run, obviously, to make it here. Everything is a best of one. So we'll see if Lecresha, they've won before, 2 or 3 weeks now, I think. I think they've won 3 weeks now. And see if they can make that another win for them. Brue looking for their first place finish. So we'll see if they're able to take the game off the, it's hard to say reigning champs, but the Resident Kings, how about? Legion Commander banned out by Lecresha, so an interesting thing there. Not wanting to deal with the Skywrath Legion combo. And it'll be a little interesting to see how they go about it. Visage banned out, so they're afraid of the... I was going to say they're afraid of the Drow Visage, but Drow's already been banned out. I mean, it's very strange that they would pick Visage after with no Drow, but I like the Brewmaster Venge starting off. Ogre Magi picked up by Brue again. Nope, they ran it last game. It was actually run against them last game by YOLO Swag, so interesting enough there. They pick up the support combo that the other team had. Earthshaker picked up, and which Brue did use last time to a very oppressive effect, as well as the Viper. So I'm not too surprised by that. We'll see if Lecresha want to maybe pick up some pure damage to go through the Viper's Croesus skin or what, but we'll have to kind of wait and see here. I imagine we'll be in for a pretty solid game, though. And looks like the fourth pick coming out. These guys have been going through the ban pretty quick. Neither one team using too much reserve time. Lecresha, they've got... Oh, what else could they run here? They've got Phantom Assassin, Anti-Mage kind of as cores in their lineup. They can still pick up Brewmaster. I imagine it's going to be their mid. I really like their support combo. The Venture Shaker is very strong. Very good initiation with the swap. So you can fissure, swap, and then stun again, or even just fissure into the secondary stuns coming out from them. And as we saw near the end of the last game, Earthshaker can do a tremendous amount of damage with a good Echo Slam. So we'll have to wait and see what they want to do for it. But Lecresha has now taken their time a little bit, burning into some of that reserve time. As far as with Brue go, they could pick up the Centaur. That is an option. It's still in the field. They've got their mid. Actually, you know what? They're probably going to maybe run Viper solo again and go aggressive. They've got Ogre Skywrath, so Lecresha is probably going to have to worry about that. No Wisp, though. It was banned out in the first phase, so they won't do that. They could still pick up Ursa, but I think without the heal to really boost him up, he's a little bit weak. Skeleton King is another one who could go aggressive. Sven, not terrible at it, but I'm not too sure. Maybe Necrolite would be something they're thinking of. That'd be a pretty interesting team. They'd have Invoker, Viper, Necro to go. They wouldn't have the best push. Ooh, Lecresha is actually going to pick up the TB. So they don't have the Earthshaker there to deal with it. Necrophos is actually going to be banned out by Brue themselves. So they're thinking that would be something good for Lecresha. And honestly, it would be. They could maybe run that in the offlane, the offlane Brewmaster and Necro in the mid, but we'll see where they want to go with this one.
10 seconds to go.
Sorry, I was just looking over at Lecresha's lineup. They changed their tags to Korean letters. But in Juggernaut's going to be the final ban of the game, and Brue, they have 2 minutes here to decide what they want to go for. I'm imagining something along the lines of an offlaner. Centaur is still in the pool. He's not bad. Tidehunter was banned. Bristleback, who I haven't seen picked up too much lately, he's there. Clockwork, I guess, but I think if they pick up Clockwork, they're going to be a pretty rough place. That said, his magical damage is very good against the Terrorblade. But somebody who can deal with the illusions fairly well. Gyrocopter, maybe?
5 seconds.
Oh, not sure. That would have to be an offlane Viper then, but I think Gyro would actually work out okay here. Medusa is an option as well. but that would be more of a safe lane, and they could put the Viper in the off lane. I think off lane Viper, well, that won't do a whole lot. It should be okay as long as you position yourself well. But they're gonna need to some way to clear up the Terrorblade. Skywrath doesn't clean them up. Ogre Magi, I mean, he can take out one. Invoker is their best bet right now for dealing with these illusions, but other than that, they don't really have a whole lot. And one nice thing is, with the Terrorblade Venge combination, is if she goes for like 1 point missile and then max Wave of Terror, max Vengeance Aura, the bonus damage is actually applied to Metamorphosis, because Metamorphosis is applied as base damage, not bonus damage per se. Oh, well, I like that little bit of synergy there. Venge also can stack form, as we saw in a previous game. Venge doing quite a bit of that, providing the acceleration for Lecresha that they needed in order to take the game. Yeah, we'll have to kind of wait and see here. Brue's using a lot of time to really deliberate about this final pick. They've only got 25 seconds left. They're gonna go with a Razor. I worry about that. That's more single target. Like, I mean, Plasma Field's not terrible, but I don't know. Centaur is available for Lecresha Cybersports, which I think would actually be very good. It would allow them to initiate on the Invoker quite easily, as well as jump onto the Skywrath Mage. I have to kind of wait and see what they want to do.
10 seconds
I think, as a Twitch chat saying, I think Centaur would be a fine pickup here, but we'll kind of have to give it a moment. They need burst damage, because the longer Razor's alive in the fight, the worse it's going to be. Same with Viper. He just slowly wears people down, gets the Viper Strikes off. Ogre Magi, he's going to be getting off lots of Fire Blasts, as well as his unrefined Fire Blast if he gets his Angs eventually. 5 seconds left for Lecresha. What are you going to do? I'm going to go Mag. So offlane Brue, mid-Mag. I think that's fine. And there's actually another thing that's going to buff up the Terrorblade just due to his base stats. But we've got our grand final game is now underway as Killjoy disconnects from the game. So Killjoy is going to be on that Ogre Magi. JC is going to be on the Skywrath Mage. We've got Viper being handled by Jezza. Again, Beyond Danger is going to be on the Invoker, and Black Ranger is going to be playing the Razor. I'm not sure. We got Magnus over here. Come on. What are these guys? Why did they change their names on me? Ice Fraud is going to be on the Ice Fraud is going to be on the Terrorblade. A little more talk in chat. Brewmaster, Big Eyes is going to be handling the Earthshaker, and Redondo is going to be playing Vengeful Spirit again. Not sure what these guys are talking about, but hopefully the Ogre will reconnect shortly. Jesus throws out a whole bunch of Chinese characters. Oh boy. Hopefully these guys are a little better mannered than they were last game. A little bit rude, but I mean, Trash Talk's part of competition. Either way, Ogre Killjoy, he's reconnected and is back on his Ogre Magi, so Beyond. Oh, he combined. God. I hate snipers. I wonder what's going on here. Good luck, have fun comes out from JC, trying to keep his team under control. Nice profiles. So, hopefully these teams will handle themselves. No Flame Marino in chat, please. But we'll have to see what they want to go here. Ice Rod is going to be handling his Terrorblade. It looks like he's going to have the defensive supports of Redondo as well as Big Eyes. Magnus in the offlane, I think that's alright. Like I've said it before, I think Mag offlane is fine. He's going to be up against a solo Viper, so he should be a little better off than the Centaur was last game, as he can sit further back and farm with aftershocks, as well as he can always skewer away. Brewmaster in the mid lane, he's going to be up against a Razor. That's going to be a little tough. He does have Thunderclap, but either way. Sorry, I was looking at something else. Brewmaster, he should be okay. He's got his Thunderclap as well as Drunken Brawler, so he should be off to a decent. He should have a decent time in the laning phase up against. Looks like it's going to be Invoker, and they are going to go an aggressive lane. Going aggressive against the Terrorblade, I think, is an alright idea. They have a Skywrath, so they should be able to do a lot of damage and harass him pretty effectively. They saw that ward coming out from the side of Brue. And we'll kind of have to wait and see there. An aggressive tri-lane with the Razor, I think that's alright. They're going to have a lot of magic damage, especially if he goes for Plasma Field early, and they'll have both the Ogre and the Skywrath, obviously. They do pretty solid magic. They do have a very good defensive support, but... Ooh, gotta be a little careful here. I think it's spotted out. They saw that ward being placed, and it was a pretty solid block coming in from Ice Rod, so he should be alright in the lane as far as CSing goes. This mid lane, I think it should be actually probably in favor of the Panda. Invoker is very bad at harassing him early, so he won't be able to push him out of the lane very well. Bottom lane, I think it's going to be fairly even. Like I said, I think Magnus does have a better chance here than the Centaur does, and in fact, he is leading the CS charge. He's 4-1 up against Viper's 0-0. So, pretty interesting there. Viper's actually taking a lot of damage in this bottom lane. Pretty impressive play coming out from the Magnus. Not sure what his name is. Killjoy just sitting behind enemy lines a fair bit there. Earthshaker was unable to stack the camp, I imagine. He's going to have to get a set of sentries coming out for him. He's going to go and just try and stack up some of the other jungle camps, and we'll have to wait and see what's going on here. Brewmaster bullying around the Invoker fairly well. Is only behind on levels just due to creeps not having died yet. Oh, Cold Snap's going to come out. He's going to be taking quite a bit of damage here. I don't think this is a kill, though. Invoker's Quaswex, not Exhort. Not going to have the Sunstrike to follow up, but does do a very good job of harassing him down. We were just a little bit too close. Took a lot of damage from the creeps. Ooh. Oh, it's a cute little Snell. And that's going to buy him a little bit of time. Venge had actually rotated through, and they just missed the kill. They're going to run up. Oh, he's going to go up high ground, though. He's got Tornado if he needs it. And looks like they're going to back off here. They're going to leave the Terrorblade alone, who, well, he can catch up farm. He's having a pretty rough start. He's only got 2 CS. Leader is the Brewmaster, sitting up there at 11-1. Then it's the Razor and Viper. Magnus is doing all right. He's fallen off a little bit here. Viper, unsurprisingly, going to catch up once he's out of mana and harass him back as well. Viper does not have a point in the Nether Tox, or sorry, the Corrosive Skin. Oh, top. Looks like they're going to go on Ice Rod. No other slows. Can't get in range. He does get in range for the Fire Blast, but they'd already backed off. The link had been broken, and they didn't have the Arcane Bolt damage coming out from the Scarlet Mage. So, Ice Rod, he dodges a bit of a bullet there. Gonna be all right. Looks like they're gonna go for the side pull, and they're actually gonna be able to get it. Watch out for the Centaurs. He's not gonna stomp. They're gonna pull one wave away, but this is still gonna push into the tower. Nice Rod. He's gonna be all right with that though. We'll be able to get some CS just outside of range. And now that the supports are missing, which they are actually smoked up, they're looking to go on this Brewmaster, who is playing very defensive behind the tower. Actually gonna Bottle Crow. So we'll have to wait and see. They're pinging him out. They're gonna want to go on him. Looks like they are. They're not gonna go. They're just gonna throw out some doves, harass him back a little bit, help the Invoker out in the lane. Earthshaker's here though. If he can get this fissure off, he's not gonna be able to get it. The angle wasn't quite there. He needed to almost like come like that. Unfortunately, just not quite there. Magnus doing all right in the bottom lane. He's got 10 CS, has a bottle picked up, so he can always go grab that bottom rune if needed. Up in the top lane though, we do have a very nice fissure coming out. Black Ranger is trapped off. Ice Rod's going to pop his Metamorphosis, and First Blood is going to go the way of Ice Rod. Earthshaker is going to survive as well. He's going to salve up and pop a Clarity off in the corner there. So very nice play from him, and he's able to get the fissure kill. And First Blood going the way of the Terrorblade is not something you want. Anytime you're up against a Terrorblade, you do not want him getting any sort of an advantage as he becomes so strong later. Uh-oh. Brewmaster in the mid lane. He's going to drop. Oh, the Skewer Shockwave. He gets the kill and saves Brewmaster. What a play coming up from the Magnus. Terrorblade does go down. It looks like who got him? Missed that. Fortunately, it looks like it was the Razor who does drop. That's 2 kills going up here as well. JC getting a cleanup kill. So far, it's 3 for 2 in favor of Lecresha. Terrorblade's going to be back. Pops up an illusion and is going to look to be farming soon. That was a very nice play coming out in the mid lane for the Magnus, though. Skewer lands just so, and then he gets the follow-up kill before Beyond can get another right-click off. That would have been the end of the Panda. I mean, he did have the evasion chance, but it was just nicely done. Because I was being left alone down here again, and we saw last game, he got very farmed very quickly and was able to do quite a bit of damage here. Looks like Skyrath's going to get his clarity pop, just turn and deal with the illusions. Lots of ping is coming out from the Razor. Looks like they want to go on him again. They've got 2 points up in Plasma Field as well as Static Link, so they can do some serious damage here. He's got so little base life, it's really unfortunate. We'll see if he wants to go for an Aquila. Oh, this Plasma Field's going to hurt. He's now dropped very low. Skyrath Mage rotating through. Viper in the bottom lane. Going down. Almost goes down to the Magnus. Magnus has RP there. He gets a kill. And he's actually hit level 6 now, so he can bottle up and then maybe try and go again. But Viper's now full health, already salved up. And Magnus is going to have to pop a salve and as well as a bottle. Venge is rotated through, though, as well as Earthshaker. So they've got what they need. They can get this kill. They won't have enough mana for an RP, but like they'll be able to rotate through. Earthshaker's coming up to the side. No Fissure to follow up. RP is not going to be there. Now it is. Stun's going to come out, and they're going to be able to skewer him backwards. This is very nicely played. They don't even need RP. Big Eyes and Redondo chaining their stuns quite effectively, and Magnus knows what they're doing. Doesn't panic, doesn't pop anything. Kind of calmly walks around and waits for it. Just to skewer back into the Terrorblade in the top lane. He's going to get hit. Static Link is up. Plasma Field's going to fly through. That's going to be a dead Terrorblade. Quickly brought down by all the magic damage as his supports were bottom. But they're going to look to go in the mid lane. They have a Shockwave. No Skewer for a moment. They'd have it now. Panda is there with his split. Regen Rune bottled. Beyond danger. He's going to be a bit of a risky position here. He could get fissured and then just follow up stunned again. Playing very defensive. Like they're just gonna keep waiting. Not too sure about this Panda. They're kind of wasting a lot of time here, unfortunately. It looks like Magnus is gonna back off. He's gonna go grab or look for the rune. Head back to the lane. Earthshaker and Venge. They should be enough with the Panda to get this kill. Venge hasn't been moving into position yet, so we're gonna have to wait and see. Earthshaker, he's gonna get the fissure. He does get it. Beyond danger. Throws out the Tornado EMP, as well as the Silence comes out onto the Panda. This is actually going to be a very nice turnaround coming out from Beyond Danger. So, Panda, unfortunately, runs in, trying to get a Thunderclap right as Killjoy TP's in, and the Skyrath was waiting off on the wings. Terrorblade now farming the jungle, actually. As no points up in his Thunder. Went for the Illusions, as well as his point in Metamorphosis. Sorry, the extra point in Illusions, not Metamorphosis. Venge gonna start stacking up Ancients here for the Terrorblade, which is a very, very good call, as he can farm those quite easily with the help of the Venge. Brewmaster is now level 7, hasn't used his ulti yet, waiting for a good team fight. He's about halfway to his Blink Dagger. We'll see what he wants to go for. Magnus now has his Mana Boots, 8-minute Mana Boots, that's not bad, and can start saving for his Blink as well. So there's going to be a timing here when Lecresha has their 2 Blinks online, and they can just start jumping on Brue, and if they can get a Fissure stun as well as an RP onto, even if it's only on like 2 heroes or something like that, 1 or 2 heroes, solo RPs are fine. There's nothing wrong with those as long as you follow them up with kills. Big Eyes and Redondo, they're sitting up here looking to defend their tower. I think anything's going to happen beyond it. Beyond Danger is going Quaswex. Looks like we have a quick pause coming up for him. A little bit of lag coming out. And got his Phase Boots and a Null Talisman. No Midas coming out for Invoker, which is a little interesting. Usually you see him go for that. Killjoy still doesn't have Brown Boots even, so poor support. A little bit under farm there. Does have 3 assists though. Viper, what has he got coming out on the Crow? Looks like a Bracer working towards his drums. Magnus just picked up his Mana Boots. Has a bottle as well. Venge is working towards that, I think Medallion of Courage. certainly help out as far as if they want to do Roshan or go for the Ancients. Looks like they're going to go on big guys up here, though. They pop the Plasma Field as well as the Static Link. It's actually going to get turned around on. Nice Fissure comes up for him. He is going to drop. Venge is there, throws out the stun. Magic Missile to follow up, and Black Ranger, he pops his sticks. I think he's going to die. Off on the other side, though, we have an RP Skewer from the Magnus. Picks off the Skywrath Mage, and Razor does go down to the Venge. So a 2-for-1, they get the core Razor and the support Skywrath for their support Earthshaker. They're going to be happy with that turnaround. And nicely done from Mag. Able to TP in and get a little bit of a help there with the kill. Oh, Panda comes out with a clap. We're going to see our Tornado as well. No EMP. Cold Snap's there, but he's not going to throw it out. Magnus is now in the area. He's got Skewer up in a moment. Throws out the Shockwave, but he's going to get hit by the Cold Snap. Going down, taking a lot of damage. Is he going to make it? Oh no. He's probably going to drop, but we'll have to wait and see. Skywrath is going to get cleaned up. No, he's not. Panda Split's already been used, and they're actually going to lose their Panda. One more hit from Invoker, and he's going to drop down. So, Beyond Danger, they turn that around. Nice play from him. Good rotations from his supports again. And managed to save their mid lane Invoker, who is 2-1-0. He's doing alright. They see the Skywrath farming very aggressively. Farming, though, Terrorblade now has an Aquila. Max level Metamorphosis, so we're going to start to see him really pressure some towers. Still no point up in Sunder. He's probably going to wait until 10-11 for that. As level 1 Sunder, well, it's okay. It's very hard to get off as you don't often have the mana for it, especially if you're farming with illusions. Panda's coming in. Nice stun from Earthshaker. He must have had an Invis rune of some sort. Invoker just evaporates. That's 16. What? That was strange. So, lots of golden experience going the way of Lecresha with that one. As you can see, they get 1,000 experience for that, spread out amongst the 3 heroes. But, nonetheless. Ice Rod, he's got his power treads up, and they're going to find that Sentry Ward that was blocking their weak camp. So, be able to back off and farm that. Earthshaker sitting up top here. He's almost level 6, so he's actually getting decent levels. And I think this game, the longer it goes, the better it is for Lecresha. They've got a lot of things that scale really well in the late game. They've got the Vengeful Spirit with her Vengeance Aura, as well as the percentage-based Empower coming out from Magnus. And when Terrorblade is in his melee form, he's going to have that cleave. So if he's just wandering around farming, it'll be pretty effective for him. Panda also scaling very well into late game. Probably going to go things along the lines of a Vlad's AC once he's got this blink. And speaking of such, he's going to have it up in about 100 gold. Magnus, he's quite a ways away from his still, unfortunately, but even if they just have one, it'll help out quite a bit. They're going very aggressive into the jungle, though. They're pinging out the Panda. He's going to get hit by a Tornado. He's going to have to split right away. Can't get it off. Now he's out of mana. Unfortunately, the Cold Snap preventing that. Magnus is there. Going to go for the Skewer. Get silenced. Can't go for the RP, but Panda's going to live, so he does manage to save his buddy there, but he's taking quite a bit of damage. That's going to hurt. Oh, those are a Shockwave Killjoy. Dropping fairly low. Top lane, though, Razor was picked off. Looks like that was a group effort coming out from the Earthshaker Venge Terrorblade. The good stuff for them. No Sunstrike on Invoker, so he can't go for the pick, but that's the second time I've seen Panda try and get off his Primal Split without being able to. That said, he now does have his Blink Dagger, so when he sees them coming like that, he'll be able to blink away. Needed. Rondo has his Medallion. Maybe you'd like to see a Roshan soon. Not too sure. Usually with Avenge, you can take it pretty quick with Wave of Terror and a Medallion of Courage. But instead, Ice Rod, he's just farming. Farming away at very low health. Good thing there's no Zeus. Randomly throw an ult and hurt him. Magnuso, now level 8, has a haste rune bottled and gonna look to go. Top lane, we've got 3 pushing fairly aggressively. They already got the tower, though. And is still pinging it out. He's rotating through. They want to go. Magnus is going to be there. He can run in for an RP. He's going to try and skewer, but he's going to have to run away. Panda's blink, clap, split. Now he's going to look to go. Actually, Fissure comes through. They're going to be able to get Invoker. Nice RP onto 2. Oh, unfortunately, the Viper was lifted. He's going to go down. Venge is there for another stun. On the backside, though. Oh, looks like they're just going to go on Viper. Viper's trying to turn it down. Redondo is going to... No, he's not going to survive. Blink out from the Panda. They don't want any part of this. They want to back off. The Terrorblade isn't there. Nice Fissure comes up from Big Ice. It's going to slow him down a little bit. Unfortunately, he's probably going to pay for it. Panda's not there. He can't go back in. And Big Ice, now that he's caught, he's going to go down. Tries to throw out one more Enchant Totem, but unable to get it off. So a 2-for-1. They lose their 2 supports, but they get the Invoker. a little tough to say who that benefited more, but I mean, Terrorblade, he's just been farming away, so now working towards the Yasha. Gonna have a Mantis tile fairly soon, and we'll look to see how he wants to play this game coming from there. I imagine it's gonna be straight into the Scotty afterwards, but we'll have to wait and see. He's gonna actually find an illusion rune. You hold on to that until you have Metamorphosis up, and that's gonna make it an easy tower push. If his team can maybe bait out some TPs. Oh, looks like we're gonna have an EMP baited out by Beyond Danger. And did he just pop it? He did. He's just gonna pop that and farm with it, which is fine. I don't think that's the biggest deal, but if you'd saved it for a push, it would have been pretty effective. They're actually gonna grouping up down here. Maybe look to go on the Invoker, as Panda does have Clap. No split yet. 50 seconds left on that. But as long as do they have Dust on the Panda? They do. They can go on him. They've got a point up in Reflection. Uh-oh. Invoker, he's running off to the side. He's gonna get revealed by the Dust. EMP is coming out. It's gonna do quite a bit of damage to them all, but they can still see him. Another stun. Nope, they don't need it. Reflection's there, and they're gonna be able to clean him up. Razor did TP in, but unfortunately he was the only one, so they're able to get that. But their mid lane gonna get pushed. Magnus is there. Has RP up in 10 seconds. Over halfway to his Blink Dagger. And with Shockwave, he's going to be able to actually force that back. Razor draining up an illusion, which is an interesting concept, but we'll have to see. Sunder now acquired by the Terrorblade. He's going to be level 11 here in a moment. Have that level 2 Sunder. Makes it significantly more effective. And he's just going to look to push. Or sorry, not push, farm up the enemy jungle. Very aggressive, like, though. Gotta make sure he doesn't get spotted out by the Skywrath, though. Mystic Flare hurts the Terrorblade. A lot. Panda wandering up to the top lane. Maybe gonna sit here and wait for the rune. Not too sure yet. That looks like it's gonna be the case. He is gonna be spotted out by these wards. And one thing we haven't mentioned is look at the vision. Radiant and then the Dire. So it's about even, which is I'm a little surprised by that. I didn't think that the Dire, I didn't see this ward when I started that train of thought, but as far as golden experience goes, like the game is sitting at 0. They drop a sentry just inside of range and they're gonna clean up that, so nice little play from them. What did Panda pick up as far as a rune? It must have been a bounty. Terrorblade's got an invis, and he's just going to rotate back into his jungle and continue farming. And the longer this game goes, the better it is. Terrorblade, he's getting close to that Manta. He's almost got enough for the first ultimate orb. Oh, we have an Echo Slam coming out, and that's going to be a dead Skywrath Mage, cleaned up by the Magnus on the skewer back. Echo Slam used, but hey, I mean, he hasn't had to use it yet, and there hasn't been a whole lot of team fights. Not to mention they probably don't want to. So getting a solo pick off, even if it prevents their ability to push his 5 and team fight, I think is fine. Vengeful Spirit's going to run up here. Maybe look to stack this with Wave of Terror. We'll have to wait and see. They do lose their bottom tower, though, in the meantime. And she's going to throw it out. And that's a triple stack already, so Terrorblade will be able to farm that up as soon as he gets his Manta, I believe, which he's very close to. About 1,000 away from it. And he'll be happy. He's actually going to be left alone up here. He's going to pop his Metamorphosis and look to push this top lane as the Radiant are looking to push bottom. And this is the power of Terrorblade. Like, he's going to clean up this tower very, very quick. On the bottom lane, Razor picked off by the Panda and the Earthshaker. Split was used, but that's going to defend the push. They're going to be pretty happy with that. High priority kill going their way, and now Magnus has a Blink Dagger of his own. So he can snatch people away very easily with his skewer. He's shown that he's very good at playing Magnus, so doesn't miss too many skewers. Be happy with that. Terrorblade spawning more illusions and just looking to push this bottom lane. How aggressive does he want to go here? Not too sure. Invoker is TPing in. Terrorblade's going to have to back off. We're going to see a tornado coming out. Not too sure. Yes, we are. Sunder, he does not have enough mana just yet, and especially after that EMP, he's going to be going down. Going to look to turn, doing a lot of damage, and Invoker, is he going to drop one more click? The illusion's actually going to get the return kill. Earthshaker, meanwhile, on the backside, does drop. Viper able to clean him up. So they go 1 for 1, but I mean, Terrorblade, he's got his Manta style now. Invoker, did he get anything out of that? Looks like he's going Orchid, but unable to just now. And a very good call from Terrorblade looking to turn on Invoker, who quite squishy this early. Looks like more just slow siege coming out from Brue. Viper is working on an Ags. He's just over 1,000 gold away, about 1,100. And they're gonna push. Magnus has his Blink RP, so they're gonna have to be very careful with that. We did see a smoke coming out from them, and not sure where they're gonna want to rotate to, but Terrorblade now has his Manta style. He's going to be a fair bit tankier, has that extra strength now, and can start looking towards the Scotty. Which, now that he's got a Manta, his Scotty's going to be fairly quick in coming. And I mean, doesn't have the most farm. I mean, he's the most farmed on the map, but he's not doing that great. Uh-oh, Pandas, he's going to get hit by a Viper Strike as well as Cold Snap, and he's not going to be able to get anything off. That said, a huge 2-man RP. Tornado's going to come through, so unfortunately no Skewer to follow up. It is there. He does get the Skywrath Mage. Terrorblade is rotated in and looking for a kill. Dropping very low. He's got no mana, unfortunately. Cannot use his Sunder. Pops off a reflection, and he's dropping very low. He needs a swap. He's there from his Venge. Earthshaker is there as well. Vengeful Spirit does clean up the Viper. Fissure does connect, unfortunately, on the wrong side. Echo Slam to follow up as well. They turned it into a 2 for 3. Invoker still alive, but the big deal is they kept the Terrorblade alive. So he didn't drop. Unfortunately, the EMP drained all his mana. He couldn't get a good Sunder off. EMP doing a significant amount of damage as far as the mana goes. But nonetheless, look to see. Invoker is ghost walked it up here and might be looking for a kill on the Terrorblade. Actually going to spot him out there. Not wanting to go though. Thinks it might be an illusion. He's going to be a little sad when he realizes that he picked up the Invis rune. Oh, lots of pings coming out. He's got a tornado, or he's got EMP. No tornado. Venge is in the area, but he might be able to get this Terrorblade beforehand. Ghost walk. That's cooled down, so not too sure what he's waiting for here. He's going to throw out the EMP. Terrorblade pops off his Manta style. Going to look to turn it onto the Invoker. Invoker taking quite a bit of damage here. May have underestimated this. That said, Skywrath Mage is going to come in. We get a nice blink clap from the Panda, as well as a 2-man Impale. Or sorry, Skewer coming out from Magnus. And that's going to be a quick 3-0. Terrorblade, is he going to survive though? Oh, he does tick down the final tick. It's doing just enough damage to get him. So Terrorblade does drop, unfortunately, unable to find somebody to Sunder. Probably didn't have the mana after getting EMP'd either. So really needs to get that level 16 so he can Sunder it even without mana. He would have lived in quite a few of these fights. But they get 3 for it, so, well, they lose the Terrorblade. I think that's probably worth it. And he's going to start work towards that second ultimate orb. And hasn't started working towards either a Vlad's or an AC. Blink clap. Nope, just on the creeps. Viper and Razor, they're looking to push bottom. They've been trying to knock down this bottom tier 2 a couple of times here. We see them often grouping up and pushing it. Invoker, Earthshaker. There's going to be a bit of a conflict here. I don't think this is one Earthshaker's going to win. Trying to get off the Fissure. Unable to, though. Finally gets it off. Going to have another Chant Totem, but I think he's just going to go down here. Pops a Magic Stick. He's trying to save time. As Echo Slam up shortly. If he can buy enough time to get another Fissure off, he's not going to. Oh, fortunately, he doesn't get the Chant Totem. While that was happening, though, Panda Split was used. 2 kills were got in the the Radiant Jungle on both of the supports. Earthshaker almost able to get a very nice solo kill, but unfortunately, Echo Slam was on cooldown. And Ice Rod, he's got 2,400 gold in the bank, so he's basically got that other. Oh, he's going to Manta Style and pop Metamorphosis, and this is going to be a quick tower gotten for them. And they have any TPs? They've got 1 on the Skywrath Mage and 1 on the Ogre, so they could go if they wanted to, but they don't have anyone in position to defend, and I don't think they'd be able to do much against the Terrorblade. He's now got the tower, so he's got an ult. Actually, he's going for Boots of Travel. Very interesting coming out from him. Wants more mobility, not going for that Scotty like I thought he was. Pick up Boots instead. We'll see if he is going to go with the double Boot strat. I don't see why he wouldn't. He doesn't need the slot, especially since he's got a TP now and his Boots of Travel, but he's just going to be able to rotate around and farm even more effectively. Orchid now picked up by the Invoker, so this Panda could be in a pretty rough place if he's able to get it off. Panda not able to blink away. Blink unfortunately on cooldown. Does have a regen rune, but I don't think it's going to matter. He's going to get clicked down. Viper has rotated, or sorry, Razor has rotated in as well. Tries to TP out. Tornado was used, but Terrorblade in the bottom lane is just going to continue to push. Metamorphosis is on cooldown, but he will have a creep wave there. So I think if they are able to trade tier 2s, I think that's fine. Skywrath Mage is going to TP out, though. And we'll have to just quickly look down here. How much Terrorblade doing? He's almost got the tower. Actually, Manta's out of the silence, and is going to look to turn this round. Probably going to find a solo kill. Unfortunately, unable to. He's just going to Boots to Travel out of there. And I think that's a good call. This tower is dropping very low. Probably... Oh, his illusions get the kill. Up in the top lane, they also lose their Ogre, so Brue with a couple of misplays coming out here. They are going to lose their bottom tower. Well, it is going to be denied. It still goes down, and that's, like, I mean, anytime that you lose map control up against a Terrorblade, you're just falling further and further behind. I imagine the golden experience graph is probably still fairly even. It's not too much of a lead, but it is there nonetheless for Lecresha. And slowly just farming away. Magnus has a Mithril Hammer, so probably going for a BKB. Pops? 30 pop? Bounty Rune, I guess. Up on the top lane, Invoker goes down to the Earthshaker. Blink Echo doing a lot of damage to Invoker. He goes down, so he's picked up his Orchid and then promptly died twice. Very unfortunate for him. Unable to make use of that. Really needs to be able to find these pickoffs. Fortunately, the Ice Rod playing very well in the Terrorblade, not letting himself be in a position of danger. And are they looking to go on into Roshan? Looks like they are. Panda's there as well, and they can rotate the Venge in a moment. There he is. And this is going to drop very quickly. We have an Empower coming out, level 3 now. That's a lot of damage for the Terrorblade, and with that minus armor, he's going to drop very quickly. So, you're going to get that, and then promptly look to push. Imagine he's going to drop his... Actually going to give it to the Panda. He dropped his Ogre Club, though. That's a little suspect. But this will be a big push coming out in the mid lane, I imagine, where they'll want to go next. Venge is in the area. Level 2 swap is up. She is going to go for it. Oh, nice clap as well. The stuns to follow up are there. Black Ranger is going to drop in the mid lane. That's a big pickoff coming for them. They can now push down this mid lane with the Aegis as well as Panda Split. And RP is up as well. Magnus scouting ahead, looking for a pickoff. He can find one. Make this an easy take. Terrorblade is going to just split push bottom while the rest of his team is pushing mid. So nice plays coming out from them. And if he gets left alone on this, he's got Metamorphosis. He can look to go. He's got his Manta as well. Doesn't have to worry too much. Uh-oh. He's going to lose a fair bit of his mana here. Does have enough to Sunder. Oh, unfortunately can't. Gets it off. Sunder. No, now he doesn't have the mana. You got a Tread Toggle, buddy. He's not going to go for it. Unfortunately, I think he's going to go down. He does get off the Sunder. It doesn't do a whole lot. Unfortunately, though, Venge is rotating through and going to find a Magic Missile. One more click. There it is. Ogre and Venge not going to trade out blows. That said, off on the backside, Skywrath and Viper are picked off. Panda Split still not used. They're going to get the kill on the Ogre Magi. Not sure if they want to push high ground with this or not. Buyback was used on the Viper. Razor and him, the lone defenders. They still have RP as well. RP is going to connect onto the Razor. Shockwave and the Skewer back. They're going to look to go. Followed up with the Enchant Totem and a Fissure. Does connect on both. Panda Split was used. Jezza, he's going to start going down. And JC is actually going to call GG. Good game, well played coming out from Brue. And Lecresha, they're your grand champions again. These guys, they take first place. They take it again. Fairly convincing fashion. I think Brue maybe could have hung it out a little bit longer, but, I mean, they were falling behind to a Terrorblade, and there's not a lot you can do to come back from that. So, good game, well played. Lecresha Cybersports are your victors. They take week 5. I believe they also took last week and one other week before, so defending champions, they remain strong. And, as always, shout out to everybody at the Dota2.ca. What am I trying to say here? Come on. Shout out to everybody in the Canada Weekly Cup, behind the scenes, the admins, as much as me and some of them talk back and forth and chat, as well as on Twitch. They're good guys. They do a lot to make sure this all runs smoothly, as well as the organizers who set up all this stuff and provide the teams with something to compete for. Shout out to them as well. And then last, but certainly not least, a shout out to Xfire for sponsoring the tournament, providing the prize pool, as well as the website we use for the brackets. Xfire is a fantastic website. You can do a lot of stuff on there as far as hosting different tournaments. Provides an easy way to set up the brackets and all that. Last but certainly not least, a shout out to the teams who competed. Lots of games were on yesterday, and hope to see lots of you guys back next week. I am, of course, Wolf Dota. You can follow me on Twitter as well as on Twitch, and then check out any of the VODs from other things I've done or weeks previous on my YouTube channel. All of that is at Wolf Dota. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you have a good evening, and happy holidays to everybody watching.